Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phixem, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for coming back. Got some new stuff going on. Cyberpunk 2077 has it's not even controversy. Let's just call it what it is. It's not controversy, but people's feathers get ruffled, and we want to talk about it. So apparently, a Polish website, GRYWP recently shared on NeoGAF message board this interview with Tomaskovich, the developer from CD Projekt Red, who's currently working on Cyberpunk 2077. And one of the things that GRYWP said, you mentioned religion. Does it still exist in the cyberpunk world? Tomaskovich said yes, and in many forms. As I mentioned, our vision is somehow based on the real world, and religion is a very important part of the latter. Society-wise, in our game, we're going to see, for example, Christianity and its different branches or religions from the East. And so much that wasn't the big thing for what I've heard and some of the research that I've done, checking out different websites and stuff like that, because I'm not the first person to actually talk about this. I am just one of many, and somewhat rather late. But the next comment is where it seems to, I think get under people's skins a little bit. Some of the people have said it. GRYWP says, and I quote, "Sounds controversial. Someone will enter a church to cause havoc." Tomaskovich said, "We don't want to avoid religion as a topic. Authenticity of the world is what counts for us. Technically, the situation you mentioned is possible, which means it is possible for somebody to come into church and cause havoc, but this is all about the choice made by the player. We won't encourage the player to do so. In our quests, which involve religious themes, we make sure there's no disrespect." Now, personally, Tomaskovich, I feel like I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. I consider myself a Christian. I believe in, I have Christian beliefs. However, it's a game. I mean, I feel like there's games that do much worse, but I feel like what Tomaskovich is saying, which I totally agree with, is just being authentic to the actual real world. There's parts of the real world that are gritty. There's parts of the real world that aren't as nice. There's things that is horrible about the real world. The Holocaust, slavery, the Columbine shooting. There are several things in this real world that suck. However, it's the real world. And if I'm making a game based off of that, then I'm going to have to be true to that. Now, I'm not saying we encourage, just killing anybody and just doing whatever to anybody. But it's how it happens. Like, I remember when Call of Duty, I think it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the mission No Russia, people were livid about No Russia because you went into an airport and you just shot a bunch of people for absolutely no reason. Just shot a bunch of innocent, unarmed people, and you were a part of it as the player. I mean, you had an option to skip it, but I didn't skip it. I wanted to play it. I'm not saying it's cool to, cut down a bunch of people for absolutely no reason, but it's a part of the story, and me, as a person who likes video games and like a deep narrative and likes a deep story, I want to know what's going on with it. Anyway, I think it's this kind of, I'm not going to go too long about this, but I think this kind of highlights, I'm not saying a problem, but maybe raises some eyebrows to some of the stuff that goes on in video games today. Nowadays, we have video games, we have, this, everything has to be political, it has to be some deeper narrative, like, it can't just be fun, it has to send a message, and I don't think it does. I think video games are an art. And however that art is, and how it needs to, and how the developers decide to create it, is however they decide to create it. I will say, there are people out there who will make stuff with the intent to cause controversy, and I'm not talking about those. I'm not talking about people who, I want to make a game that just solely just, I want to create the Columbine game. I mentioned that earlier, and I just want to, you get to play as the guy who shoots up a bunch of children. Like that I don't think that serves a purpose. That's nothing fun. You're just trying to resurface old wounds. But if you take a narrative and something like that was to happen, but not that specific, then that I'm okay with that, because that is the real world in general. That is the real world. But I just think sometimes with video games now and just everything that goes on, that people always feel personal about stuff. They feel attacked. They feel like somebody stepped on their toes recently. I mean, granted, I'm not too much of a Battlefield fan, but Battlefield had women soldiers, and people say, "Well, I don't want to play that. Well, that's not fun." Like, so what? It's a game. Like, I'm not giving you a history lesson. I'm just giving you a game for entertainment. Like, I don't care what color, gender your character person is. It's just play the game, have fun with it. But I say all that to say, it's always something new. It's always something crazy happening. Tomasovich said what he said, and I'm glad he stood by it. I don't think there's anything wrong with what the man said. He's sticking true to what he believes, and he wants to be authentic to the real world. I think he should be authentic as possible. Create some real narrative, create some real choice that, you know, kind of gives you mixed feelings. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But hey, that's just my opinion. As a as a humble man of the people, that's just my opinion. Anyway, that's all the time I have for. I am going to continue to play Destiny 2 because that's currently what I'm on right now. I've moved on to other games and stuff like that. But I will check out some more videos and work on some more videos. Excuse me, so I can bring more content to you guys. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for jumping in and checking me out and hear what I got to say. But that's all the time I have today. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.